960. Oh my god! We got a blue screen. I was wrong.
I had the wrong card.
And everything runs
Butter smooth.
Buckle up, like and subscribe, because today we are building the ultimate Windows XP gaming powerhouse, capable of running any Windows XP game we throw at it with ease. I'm talking about the Dell Precision T3500 from 2009. I'm going to pair it with an SSD and a GTX 960. It's the latest and greatest GPU that fully supports Windows XP without driver voodoo and glitches. The T3500 is a perfect candidate since it's powerful for XP and has a powerful power supply with a 6-pin connector for the 960 GPU. T3500 is also one of the last Dell Precision PCs with XP support. Quick thing, want to get your first website started ridiculously easy with no coding at all? Link below. It's an affiliate link that helps support the channel. Thanks so much. Let's upgrade to an SSD. Alright, let's swap out the old GPU with the GTX 960. It was a bit tricky at the beginning, but I figured that this part needs to go up and this part needs to go down so that you can open this. And let's see if we can get the GPU out. It has that split right here. There we go. That was the old GPU. Let's see what Zotac GT610. Nice. Looks cool, but the new GPU will be much better. Let's set up the new 960 GPU. And let's give it some extra power from the power supply. Let's see if it boots with the new GPU. Let's plug in the mouse, keyboard, there. Okay, we got a starting T3500. Great, and we got an image. Okay, so I got an error on the RAM stick 5, so I'm gonna try and take it out and see if I can start up the system. So we'll just loosen this thing and drag this guy back. And let's remove this piece. Also check out the CPU cooler. Okay, so let's remove the DIMM 5 RAM stick. Like that. Pretty dusty. Okay, so we got a blue screen. I think it's because I'm running CHI instead of ATA in the BIOS. Okay, let's change it here. Yes. And let's try and reboot. So I'm unable to boot from the disk in ATA mode, and that's what we have to do if we want to boot the installation and install without it crashing. And that does not work, so I have to install in HCI mode. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to burn a disk again with these drivers slipstreamed. And how do I do that? I use Nlight. Also, it should in theory give us around maybe 10% faster SSD performance. I'm using the Nlight version 1493. And yeah, we got it working. The disk has successfully booted under a CHI or whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, come on. To set up Windows now, press Enter. And agree. And there we have our SSD. Okay, so I actually had to take the SSD out and insert it into another PC and format it as MBR, as it was formatted as GPT, so I was unable to select the drive for installation. And now let's see if it will. Yeah, it looks like it will go with the disk now. Perfect. And setup is copying files. Yeah, there we go. Windows XP install. Let's go, man. Woo! 39 minutes left. Copying files. Woohoo! And we are in Windows XP, successfully installed. Now for some drivers. So let's start with the graphics drivers. I have just inserted a USB key with everything I need. Whoops, here's something we need to fix. Okay, I now know exactly what is wrong. This card is not a GTX 960. I was wrong. I had the wrong card. I just assumed that it was a 960. So I quickly got on Marketplace and I picked up this card right here. That is a GTX 960. So let's pop this in and continue with the driver installation. Giving it power. Okay, let's do this. 36881. Checking system capability. Yes, okay, requires .NET Framework 4. Agree and continue. Oh my god, guys. We are actually getting this to work. Okay, you are installing this driver, has not passed Windows logo testing, whatever, continue anyway. Let's go ahead and install DirectX 9, location, extracting files. Let's also install the chipset drivers. Welcome to the setup program, Intel chipset device software, yes. Yes, next. DX setup, let's go. DirectX. And also the audio drivers for the integrated audio device. All right, let's reboot and see how far we got. Starting up Windows XP 64-bit. Let's see how fast it will start. 5 seconds, 6, 7, 8 seconds until 11 seconds until login. That's very fast, and we are at the high resolution, so that is awesome. Look at that. Let's see how fast we can open the file explorer, and let's click on my computer. Instant. That is why we're doing this, guys. The experience of just having a super fast machine. That is so good, so cool. Okay, so let's go to display properties and let's see what we have. We are at the max resolution and it is the GTX 960. That is awesome. Let's see here, adapter 960. Let's see the old control panel. It looks very familiar. Okay, let's see if we can change the theme to Windows Classic. How about that? There you go. Look at that. Start menu. Very cool. Great, so it looks like it's only the Ethernet controller that misses a driver. Everything else is ready for some games. Okay, so what are we dealing with? We have an Intel Xeon processor with 4 cores and 8 threads. It's got a base clock of 2.80 gigahertz. We've got 12 gigs of DDR3 RAM and of course a 1 20 gigabytes of SSD. Okay, let's install Doom 3. So I remember Doom 3 absolutely was a total disaster to run on my computer back when it was released. So let's see how this PC will crunch this game. Anti-aliasing up to 16x and overall graphics also all the way up. Oh yes, so it looks like it runs pretty smooth. Okay, let's see. It looks super smooth. So yeah, there you have it, Doom 3 running on this Windows XP machine. It's butter smooth, it runs perfectly. Oh my god, this was so laggy back then. Alright, let's see, what buttons we have to scan. Ready. Okay, let's do the scanning. So a bit flagging, but that's just because vertical sync is not turned on. Windows Media Player. Windows Movie Maker. Pinball. Minesweeper. Solitaire. Alright, let's try some 3D Mark 2001. Everything all the way up and see. Let's try the lobby. I thought that was so cool back then. 700, 500 frames per second. This was absolutely my favorite test. I hope that this was a real game, but it wasn't. 48,146 points, yeah. 3D Mark 2006. 100 frames per second. Whoop, we are actually at 45 frames now. 40 frames per second. Oh my god! Need for Speed Underground 2. Let's go. Initially 30 frames per second, but then when we start 120 frames per second, everything runs butter smooth. Funny to see this run so well. Okay, enough playing around. Let's go to one of the most demanding games, Crysis. Oh yeah, we are at 60 frames, no problem. All settings maxed out. This is the game that was very difficult to run when it was released in 2007. And we now have mouse control again. Absolutely butter smooth, 60 frames. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and remember to check out my affiliate link in the video description. You can create your very first website easily without coding.